Hey YouTube, today I'm going to talk about using a shipping container to make a repair shop out of. I use mine for my small engine repair shop business. First I'll tell you a little bit about these containers. They're made in China. They come in different classes, and when you order one you don't get to go to a big yard and walk around and pick one out. You order it over the phone, sight unseen. It's delivered to your house. They come in classes, like I said. The very best you can get is called a one-tripper. Means it was built in China, it came across the ocean one time, it's now in the United States and it's ready for sale. It is pristine, brand new, and perfect, and they are the most expensive. The next class is Class A, which means it's been across the ocean a few times, it's been used, but it is still in very, very top condition, and that's the next level down. The grade below that is Class B, which is what I've got. Class B can have dents and scratches and rusty spots, but it's still guaranteed to have be air and water tight and have a good floor in it. And that's what I recommend if you're going to make a shop out of one. This one here cost me $3,000, dropped right where it's at, and they set it right on the bricks I put on the ground, exactly where I wanted it. These things are usually delivered on a lowboy trailer pulled by a dually truck with a tilt trailer, and they came in my little gate over there and backed up in here and dropped this thing like it wasn't nothing, and I live in a small neighborhood with small streets, so it wasn't that big a deal. The next class down is Class C, which means they could have big holes in it, the doors won't shut, they're pretty much scrap, so don't get a Class C, get a Class B. Anyway, this is the outside of it. The city I live in, I had to talk to them about it, and they said I could get one of these in my backyard, but as soon as it hits the ground I had to paint it. It had to be a neutral off-white color. You know, they don't want a big green or purple container in your yard. Luckily, I got lucky and this one was gray when I got it, so it wasn't that hard to cover up all the gray. Let's go inside. This is the inside of the shop. One thing I need to tell you, get a high cube. These containers come in standard height and what's called a high cube, which means it's a foot taller than a standard one. The way I did my shop, like I said, it's a small engine repair shop, and I basically saved 20 foot of one end is the shop. Toolboxes and my counter space and storage and everything is in this end of the shop. The other 20 feet you want to leave completely empty to store what you're working on. I've got hooks on the wall to hold chainsaws and weed eaters, and I use the floor, it's all push mowers, and got a generator over there. But you typically want to use half of it for workspace and half of it just to keep crap in. And it took about a year to get it all in here. I got a Big Tex Welder in here. I got my 60-gallon air compressor back here. I got a little drill press. I got an anvil. I got a big vise over here. Bunch of toolboxes. Got a bunch of little parts up here. I got some drawers, some parts in it, starters and gas caps and crap I take off of junk mowers. But this has worked out really good. I wired, I've got 220 run out here. And I know my wiring's not the code, but it's as close as I could get. I got a little breaker box. I've got one stick welder right here. I put it right by the door so I could pull stuff right up to the door and weld on it. Got the outlet right there. But a little bit electrical. I got a 220 down here for this welder and this air compressor. And that's pretty much the layout. I started this business a few years ago. This is part-time. I do this at night after my regular job and all day Saturdays and Sundays. And I've probably been doing this 4 or 5 years. When I started this, I just fixed a few chainsaws and it exploded. It wasn't a year and I was so busy I can't even keep up. If you look back here, you can see I'm doing pretty good. Half of these are fixed and ready to go back to the customer. Another half I still got to look at. But it's been going pretty good. There's crap everywhere out here. The door, I took an angle head grinder with a cutoff wheel and cut the hole for this door. My father had this industrial metal door laying around his shop. He built the frame, And we cut the hole for this door, stuck it in there, and it shuts just like a door on a house. It's perfect. But you want a walk-through door. You don't have to open those big doors every time you walk in your shop. If I need to and it's raining, I can move stuff around and I can pull a zero turn inside the shop or a regular riding mower and get out of the rain and work on it. I got 2 ramps I use to bring them in here. But anyway, that's my small engine repair shop. This one is a 40-foot long high cube, and I bought this one. I'm in Texas, and I bought this one at Big Tex Containers in Texas. I highly recommend those guys. They'll answer all your questions. They were real easy to work with, real reasonable pricing, and the guys they had deliver this thing did it like they do it all day, every day. They could have done this in their sleep. But anyway, thanks for watching.